Cohesion policy, I suppose, is one of the bedrock founding principles of the European Union. The European Union, an amalgamation of states working towards greater social and economic integration, and the transfer of resources through cohesion policy has been an essential part of that for 40 years, and of course one that Ireland has benefited very greatly from. We have had 20 billion euros of cohesion investment in Ireland, and that has impacted on every county and probably on every community. And we have raised our economic level to well beyond the European average now. We've increased the quantum of money available to Ireland by 8% at a time when the overall volume of money has decreased by 8%. So we have 1.2 billion euros of overall structural monies to expend. I know for the southern and eastern region for the next funding period, it's when you take the matching funding in, it's of the order of 500 million euros. That will be focused on the key priorities that the government set during our presidency, which obviously is the advancement of growth and jobs, on smart technologies and sustainability. So you'll see investments in all those areas with good projects being identified by the Regional Assembly over the next 7-year period.
The assemblies were created back in 1999 following a government decision to split the country in two for European structural funds purposes. And each of the two regional assemblies were made managing authorities for regional operational programmes. This was very new at the time. And these regional programmes were very large-scale, multi-sectoral programmes. They were like mini national development plans. They ranged from hard infrastructure across the board to soft measures like childcare provision, from natural resources like forestry and fishing, all the way to research and development, further education and so on. So they were very large, multi-annual, multi-sectoral programmes that we managed. So we've moved on now to the 2007 to 2013 period, and the emphasis of this programme is much more on a limited number of key areas, such as research and development, ICT infrastructure provision, encouraging SMEs to develop and expand, and also a strong emphasis on the urban dimension. And so a gateway fund was established to deliver projects in the main urban centres in the region.
Glenpatrick Springwater has been in business since 1989, and we currently employ approximately 160 people. Glenpatrick is the largest manufacturer of water and flavoured water in Ireland. So we supply under sub-brand to all the major retailers in Ireland and the UK. Investment in energy efficiency is critical to our business for a number of reasons. For our sustainability agenda, from a cost perspective, and it's also now a critical factor in terms of working with our customer base. We're aware via contacts in the food sector of SEAI support for investment in energy efficiency supported by the ERDF. The funding allowed us to go for the most energy efficient manufacturing system for water production. We have been able to decrease our energy consumption per litre produced by 59% due to this investment. As a consequence of the success of this investment, we have now just announced a further investment in a similar high energy efficiency piece of manufacturing equipment, which will create a further 30 jobs in our business over the course of the next 2 years.
When the opportunity came up with the ERDF Gateways Fund scheme, it was perfect for us because that meant that through the Southern Regional Assembly we got this package, which meant that we could tackle the varying elements that we wanted to come at in one go rather than over a very protracted period in a very piecemeal sort of a way. The space really needed to have a day-to-day life, and that's where, for me, the key issue in talking to the community was about. The community live in the space 365 days of the year. The notion of it as a civic space is maybe 3 or 4 significant events within the year, and the two weren't marrying. So what we needed to look at was that this was essentially a market space. Smithfield is a very significant space, which is actually only about 10 minutes walk from O'Connell Street. There's a very strong sort of necklace on the south side of visitor attractions that you would go, and then Smithfield is a sort of crucial centre point to a necklace corresponding on this side of the river, which runs parallel with the Lewis track.
Conscious that the Cliffs of Moher was an internationally renowned tourist attraction, but we set about with Shannon Development and the local community to see how we would develop facilities here at the site, which at the same time wouldn't impact the natural attraction, but would give the visitors the comfort that they expected and indeed was necessary for a flagship tourist attraction. We funded that from the European Regional Development Fund. We sourced a loan from the European Investment Bank, and the balance then came from Clare County Council's own resources. At the time it was a very ambitious project, but we felt it was the right investment in an outstanding natural attraction. We have about 130 employees in the peak season, is a fairly significant economic entity in a peripheral area. So it has been a huge boom to the local economy. You have over 1 million visitors coming here in 2014. Many of those visitors will stay in the local area. We have had some very high-profile international visitors, such as the Premier of China, Rory McIlroy. People know about the cliffs, and when they come to Ireland, it's a must-see as part of their itinerary.
They're part of a larger programme to make Limerick city centre a more attractive place to live in and to do business in, making the city more pedestrian and cycle friendly by widening out footpaths, by using better quality materials for the footpaths, making them more attractive looking, putting in new public lighting, new street furniture, new soft landscaping. It has helped to attract a lot of visitors into the city and led to a more positive experience for them. The source of funding here in John Square and the other large project over at William Street has been 50% ERDF funding and 50% council's own resources. That has allowed the council to progress with projects it would not normally be able to afford, and has helped us to transform our city centre. Grant funding through schemes like the ERDF and Smarter Travel helps to deliver a lot of projects each year.
This current PhD structured programme, which is a 4-year programme, is one that has 15 students divided between 3 strands. I have to say that this PRTLI programme has been huge for us. We're very interested in neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease and multiple sclerosis. And the whole idea is to try and understand what's happening with regard to these diseases, where we might intervene and alleviate some of the difficulties associated with them. So a big component of the work would be looking for protective agents to try and make sure that the neurons or nerve cells are protected against the damage that occurs in these diseases.
We have 14 other people on the ERDF funded project here in Trinity alone. The PRTLI programme has given a number of brilliant opportunities throughout the structure of the programme.
I became an ambassador for the Innovation Academy. My research is concerned with the role of different immune cell types in the pathogenesis of a model of multiple sclerosis.
So I'm working on enhancing a neurotransmitter to increase growth of brain cells and to enhance their connections. So here I have some neurons that have been stained for markers that show a neuron that is sending a message and another marker that shows a neuron that is receiving a message. And when these markers come together at the same place, we know that there is a connection between these neurons and that they're able to communicate with each other in the brain.
Crystal manufacturing is synonymous with Waterford for over a quarter of a millennium. The reason we'd have become involved with it was to retain that heritage. We would have engaged with the company, the new purchased of WWRD Holdings. Ultimately, the optimum solution is the one that you see here today. The mixing of a visitor centre with a manufacturing facility. We look for support from a lot of angles, including the European Regional Development Fund and the gateways element of that. It took about a year to complete, but we're obviously very satisfied. It's operational 4 years and actually delivering what we intended at the time. The property that we had as the best fit for that was a very old protected structure that required a lot of conservation work.
The whole of the public realm in the immediate environs was improved, and as well as that, there were parking provided to facilitate visitors. The new company hired about 10 apprentices as we speak. I think that was the significant win in the overall, is that the skill set that historically sat here in Waterford has been retained. We view this as a catalyst for a job of regeneration that is ongoing anyway. And like I say, in that context, we're very happy with it.
Powerscourt Estate is one of the oldest and most beautiful estates, country estates in Ireland, and it's famous for its gardens, which National Geographic ranked number 3 in the world. So it's very popular both with Irish visitors and overseas visitors, and we have about 500,000 who come each year to visit the estate. Nature and the environment are integral to our business, and we've always had an interest in sustainability, and we wanted to take the business forward and with an aim to making it carbon neutral. We're open 363 days a year, and keeping our energy costs down, particularly over the winter months, is very important. We came up with a package of measures for energy efficiency, which combined LPG, highly efficient gas boilers, and an energy monitoring system, which is a state-of-the-art monitoring system. And also we replaced all of our lighting with LED efficient lights. And all of this was funded through the ERDF. Being able to see the results almost immediately has been fantastic and hugely satisfying. And we would certainly recommend anybody who was looking to do something similar to apply for funding in this way.
PMBRC was set up in 2009. Initially it had 2 main goals. The first was to enhance the research capability in WIT in the area of pharmaceutical sciences and biotechnology. The second was to act as a gateway for industry to access the equipment and facilities and expertise that we have here in WIT, and indeed in the wider third level sector through our network of academic collaborators. So we have research in 4 different areas: pharmaceutical analysis and sensing, biomedical research, biotransformations, and research in drug delivery technologies. We work with a number of different technology gateways. We also have a project with INSTITUE developing sensors for microbial analysis. So we have a number of different sources of funding within PMBRC. Our industry funding is underpinned by technology gateway funding, which ultimately comes from ERDF. Our researchers come from 3 different schools within the WIT campus. So we have people from the School of Science, the School of Health Sciences, and the School of Engineering conducting the research here in the PMBRC. The research that we do has a knock-on effect on the undergraduate teaching as well, teaching courses as well. And we also get support then from WIT in terms of technology transfer, finance support, human resources, and so on.
Nexus Innovation Centre was opened in November 2011. The centre works with early stage startups and supporting them in their development path. So we work with companies from very early business idea stage. The Nexus Centre was funded through Enterprise Ireland under a European funding initiative. Our clients find it attractive to locate here in the centre. It offers access to the linkages here on campus, the academic resources, technology transfer resources, and enterprise development support. We have a number of technology-led companies. Approximately about 50% of the building would be technology-led companies, product development, nutrition, product design, so very creative bunch, all whom have the same physical business problems, so getting them together in a group environment from a networking perspective, learning from each other, peer learning is very important to them.
Our business is basically setting about to disrupt how SMEs and multinationals approach social media. We train them in how to get better engagement with customers, and really just how to create a proper brand online. That's what we do at Blue Chief Social. It's incubation centres like Nexus who have allowed us to create a stronghold for startups in Limerick.
We felt it is important to preserve for a number of reasons. Historically, it's crucially important to the city. So the floor that we're standing on is reconstructed. The double vaulted roof had collapsed, and the apse had completely separated from the building itself. It was in a very, very poor state. And the money which we received, combined with investment from the City Council, helped us bring this back into full health. The European Regional Development Fund was instrumental in making this happen. There was a slightly larger pot of money, and that was also invested in another beautiful heritage building called St Luke's Church on Summerhill North. And phase 1 of that now is completed. Triskel Arts Centre to move in here has given them an absolutely beautiful auditorium, which now will host 250 people. And that has really allowed them to extend the offering that they offer to the city and the broader region. They've had, some amazing performances in here, from art theatre to cinema to our jazz weekend. It also doubles as an art gallery. Christchurch here is on what we describe as the historic spine of Cork. So from an architectural point of view, this has really gotten a fantastic makeover, and I think you can see it in the building today.
Goatsbridge Trout Farm has been established for 52 years. We employ in excess of 20 people. We were selling 100% fresh trout to the fresh fish counters as well as supermarkets right around the country. And we found we were competing against foreign imports. So in order to differentiate our products, our quality products from the foreign trout that was coming into Ireland, we decided we would add value. So we started to develop a smoked product range. We launched Ireland's first rainbow trout caviar about 3 years ago to great acclaim. It's made people stop and think and look at us as a company. And in fact, 2 years ago, we won the most innovative Irish food company. We have great support from our local enterprise board. Obviously, the financial support was much appreciated, as well as all the other soft support, like management and development programs, IT programs, sales, marketing, all aspects of training. Having access to EU funded programs has been a very positive experience for an SME like Goatsbridge Trout Farm. And I would certainly encourage any other companies to go and find out and access it.
I set up Boise Foods in 2006 and now we have 16 people employed. Our main customers would be retail outlets and convenience stores. We'd reached the stage that we really needed assistance to move to the next stage, and we were able to avail of a capital grant which was co-funded by the ERDF, and it really made a huge difference to our business. We received the capital funding grant in 2012 and it allowed us to do an expansion to completely fit out our premises in Smithfield, and our staff numbers increased by 25%. I would definitely encourage other small to medium enterprises to seek advice and support from their local office. We've definitely built up a reputation for good quality products and fresh offerings in the food to go space. Oishi means delicious in Japanese, and I really wanted our range to reflect that.